Lockdown confessions. I've had an idea. If it doesn't work out, then that's life. Direct message me a lockdown confession and I will repost it in this comment section anonymously. It can be anything, fire away. I'm over 90 days clean from drugs since the crisis began. It's been a battle for the past 10 years but aim to keep it this way. It's been a real silver lining for me. I'ma own this. I don't get up before 12 most days. My wanking schedule has been ramped up to 11. My local corner shop has seen me balloon in size due to their snacks. I'm barely reading the work being sent to me and doing a half-assed 2 hours work before playing video games for 12 hours straight. I also broke 2 pieces of fittings in my house share and hastily repaired them with super glue. I'm in 2 role-playing campaigns now, so at least that is something positive. I am reguarly drunk while working from home. Anonymous confession. I've been stoned every day for the past 74 days, working remotely while still on full salary. It's actually so much more efficient, combined with work being slow, that I've been able to spend most of my days learning to bake bread, use a sewing machine, and play Stardew Valley. My ex is throwing me out after 9 years and in the middle of a pandemic. I had my applications in to move to a housing association place when lockdown hit, so I was stuck staying with her. The council's emergency housing team have got me somewhere today, so cannot thank them enough. Disabled and homeless wouldn't have been good. I never clap for the NHS. That shit is dumb as hell. https://streamable.com/42pdw1. F it, I ate a whole jar of olives last night for dinner. Not like a small jar, but one of the massive ones. I'd how I can consume so much as such a small human. I set up a group chat for my other half and her family at the start of the lockdown. Badly regret it now. Almost every day so far it's been non-stop hypocritical whinging from nearly each one. Some of the highlights include moaning about a neighbor setting up a hair-cutting service in the garden next door, before they invite all their family and friends over for a curry and drinks later that very evening, 3 weeks ago. Complaining that the members of the family who are able to work from home, have it much better than those of us who can't work, whilst asking for advice on what to binge watch next. Praise me for self-isolating at the start of lockdown because I had a cough in late March and my other half is in a vulnerable group, but say oh, I couldn't do that. I need my freedom too much. Ask for recommendations about what to watch. Never respond to a single one. Not one response. Constantly complaining they have coronavirus symptoms and also absolutely refusing to get tests, phone 111, or do anything other than choose to conspicuously suffer. I'll make a post a couple of days before I go shopping, to see if anyone needs anything. So I'll post to the group on a Tuesday I'll be going shopping on Thursday, let me know if you need anything, don't worry about pound and won't get a single reply until Friday. Oh, could you get me X, Y and Z when you go? And when I've pointed out that I've already been, so they'll have to wait, they get all passive aggressive. And the worst one is the I've broken one rule so I can break them all now syndrome. Like, fucking no. That's not how it works. Every rule you break puts you, your household and the people close to you at risk. Honestly, I didn't like many of them that much at the start. Now I don't want to be civil to any of the self-centered children, well I call them children, the youngest is 28. Anonymous confession, I've taken advantage of not seeing my colleagues to start my transition from male to female with Ernest. I've grown out my hair a bit, bought a couple of new wigs and spent all day presenting as how I feel. If work announced I had to be back in the office next week, I think I'd spring me being me on them with no warning. I don't think I can go back on this now. For the first time in my life I care about my appearance. I'm losing weight, getting up early and going for a run long before work instead of snoozing till 5 minutes before I need to be out of bed. I ain't no coward, the whole world can know that I am incredibly boring and haven't actually done anything to break the lockdown aside from not always keeping 2 meters away from strangers. I overtake people in supermarket aisles if they're taking too long, does that count? I broke the restrictions for my birthday so I could spend the day with my mum. While lockdown has been genuinely brilliant for my mental health and work/life balance, the thought of spending my birthday alone was very depressing and my mom was determined to do something. She's not vulnerable or anything though, thankfully. We had a picnic by a lake with the dog. Was lovely. I do feel a bit guilty though. Anonymous confession, I live alone in a flat and have luckily been able to work from home during the pandemic even though we had a pay cut. It's basically been 120% hours for 80% pay. That's sucked. My social life used to revolve around playing sports and maybe going to the pub once a week. Last few months I've been piling on the pounds for lack of sports, and my downtime from work has basically consisted of smoking weed, eating junk food and binge-watching TV/video games. I can't wait for life to get back to normal. I'm not disciplined enough to be a real adult without a routine. Yesterday I ate 2 full blocks of cheese straight from the packet watching shitty B-list films. I dressed my kid as a vampire as I can't be arsed with the arguments. Had sex without a mask. How terrible of me. Monday the grandparents are coming round for the boy's birthday. I've gained 2 stone. Confession, I'm bitter about not being on furlough. I realize I'm in a very lucky position to be in a secure job, healthcare, WFH, but I'd have jumped at the chance to have a few months off on 80% pay to play games, Netflix, increase my running mileage, etc. I know it means I have a secure job when all of this is over, but I do feel like I'm missing out. Anonymous confession, I've only washed my clothes once since lockdown began. I started going commando a while ago and I just put on anything which isn't outwardly stained. No one is going to see me anyway.